this computer. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Y'all see that? Okay, Elisa, go for it.
Okay. So you are your first customer. So there are plenty of times where I know that I get stuck and, just talking to other coaches where they get stuck and your motivation gets low. And so a lot of people have asked me, well, how are you hitting Success Club and how are you staying motivated to do this with all of your craziness and your children and everything else? So something that someone said to me at the very, very beginning of my journey was, you are your first customer. And that was really, really a big deal to me. So for those of you that don't know me, I have 4 children. I am a crazy person. So that is my family there in the picture. And we are very kid-centered right now. All of my children my oldest is 7. So we've got 7, 6, 4, and 18 months. And our life is pretty much in constant chaos. If there's a calm moment, it is only slightly before an interruption occurs again. So there are things that I have to remind myself over and over again, because it is easy to lose that motivation when you are interrupted every few minutes. So even when the fire is burning the brightest, there are things that get in the way. So, and not even to say that my children get in the way, because they don't. It's just, again, it's just a minor interruption in the grand scheme of things. So that little quote up there, the fact is you can help someone today if you simply look for the opportunity to do so and act upon it when it comes. So that is something that I have to do, is I have to look for the opportunity when it is there, despite the distractions and despite, up and downs in motivation. Always believe that you can make a positive difference in the world of those that you encounter. So that's something else that I've had to work on, is telling myself, I am making a difference. I am doing something that is important. People do see what I'm doing, and I can make a positive difference. And so, because you can and you do. And so all of that, I hope that filters to you guys. And if anything, if you take nothing else away from all of my babble this evening, take that away. You can make a difference. You do make a difference. When people aren't looking, when you think that people aren't looking, they still are. They're watching you on Facebook. They're seeing you. You are making a positive difference. So, Laura, will you pop over to the next slide?
Yes.
Okay, so my story, I'm going to try and go through this as fast as I can, because I'm sure, as you know, we all can talk about our own story forever. So I was on the verge of becoming a stay-at-home mom. I was very scared of that, and I know that seems kind of silly. A lot of people think that it's a dream come true, but it was very hard for me. It was a very, very scary moment in my life to have that change. So I was scared to lose myself, my identity, and to become just another mom. I was scared about the financial decline. And in August of 2000, I was also scared to become a couch potato and get fat and heavy and just completely let myself go. I was very, very fearful of that. And just thinking of how I grew up, and I remember Nintendo and Tetris being a part of our lives, and Richard Simmons every now and then, and lots of soap operas. So I didn't, Richard Simmons, I guess, is a gateway. He's a gateway drug into Beachbody, which is great. But the soap operas and other things, those scared me, because I didn't want to be sitting on my couch all day and not have more to my life than laundry and dishes and cleaning diapers. I did 2 rounds of 21-day fix with my husband. I got very addicted to it. Loved the way that I felt. I loved the way that I was looking better. I was feeling better in my clothes, all of the above that I know all of you have experienced as well. I had been seeing Laura on social media. We actually went to college together, and she had messaged me in March I ignored her and I didn't say anything. I was in the midst of going back to work after having that fourth baby at the time. And I knew I couldn't handle anything else in my life. So, but I knew that she had messaged me and it was still in my inbox. And so I went back and I looked at it and I gave her a call and we talked about it. And I made the decision to jump in and start coaching. And I honestly, I hadn't been in a group. I jumped into a group with her, but I started running my own at the same time and just kind of rolled with it from there. So that is my story. Laura, if you'll jump to the next slide, and I'm going to keep talking. In October, I did not hit, that was October when I signed up, and I did not hit Success Club that first month. I missed it by, I think, one sale. And so November was my first month, technically. So since then, I've hit Success Club 10 or higher. And I am trying to give myself credit for that, because sometimes I feel like, I'm almost in disbelief that I've done that, or maybe I don't deserve that or something. And, I have to tell myself, yes, you do. Yes, you have done the work, and give yourself credit, because I think that it's important, and I have done something special. So, yeah, I've done something special and I feel really good about it, and I want to keep going. So, how did I do that, and what do I do to get there? So that's the real point of this call. Me being my first customer, how that works with all of this is that to get those people pulled in, I have to know myself and how I want to be talked to. I have to talk to myself that way, and I have to talk to other people that way. And so if you did not listen to the National Wake Up Call this past Monday, holy cow. So Julie was the modifier in Sean Week. She was the blonde, short-haired blonde that was very happy and very peppy, and she's super cute. So yes, if you didn't listen, then listen to it. But if you didn't listen to it, then I'm also going to kind of give you a preview. So Laura, if you'll jump over to the next slide. She went over some things that she calls TNT, takes no talent. And so there were 5 things that she calls her TNT. And every time that she touched on one of those, I thought, you know what, I feel like I do a good job of that. And again, it's not in a bragging manner, but it's giving myself credit for what I do and what I've done. So I don't want to, I want to say all of these things in a positive way, and I don't want them to be taken the wrong way. But work ethic was her number 1. And 2 things that she said is, it doesn't mean that you need to work more. It means that you need to hustle in the time that you've dedicated. So nap time is the time that I've dedicated. If I get an extra 30 minutes, I use the extra 30 minutes. If my kids sleep 30 minutes less, then I have to work with that to still get my power hour in. If I need to do a little bit extra at night, then I do. But I try and have a to-do list, so that way I'm sitting there scrolling through Facebook. And then the second note there, it's not about Beachbody being your life. It's about Beachbody giving you a life. As that has been a very hard thing for me to figure out in the beginning, because I did start to make Beachbody my life, and I was stressed about it all the time. And I couldn't do it. It started to kind of feel like a job. And, my husband looked at me one night and he goes, if it feels like this, then you need to stop. He said, you need to go back to the point to where you were excited about it, because I felt like it was a good thing for you and you are stressing too much. And so that's the point that I had gotten to, is where I made it my life, instead of seeing what it had done for me and really letting it work for me. So I took a step back and I bought a cork board and I made a vision board and I hung some things up, and I just kind of got my mind straight. So, I think that I'll probably have to do that again and again and again. But that's something that has helped me just stop stressing about it. I'm not saying stop working. I'm not saying stop going for your goals. I'm saying don't let it become stressful. It needs to be about Beachbody giving you something that you didn't have before. And if you forget about what that is, then take a step back and make a list. or make a picture or make a vision board or whatever you need to do. Just write it out, put it out there, and just see what has it done for me. Because honestly, every time I look at this, it's not about the stress. It's about what has it given back, because it has given me a purpose to get up off the couch and not be a couch potato. It has given me something else to focus on besides just my kids and laundry and wiping butts all day. It has given me my physical fitness back. It has given me my health. It has given me the ability to play with my kids. It has given me the ability to not work 40 hours a week and bring my work with me. I literally can work on this for 2 to 3 hours a day when it's convenient for me, and then I can put it away and I can focus on everything else. Now, I know everybody isn't the same as far as being able to stay home or not stay home or different aspects of life. You know, we're all in our own part of our journey, and it's all going to be different. But at the same time, we're all busy. We're all going to have to fit it into our schedule somewhere. And guys, it's not easy to fit it in with 4 kids. It's not. And again, it's interrupted constantly. So don't make it your life. Look at it, see what it's given to you, and revisit that, because it is about Beachbody giving you your life back. Okay, next slide. So weird to just keep talking and not see you guys or myself or anything. It's weird. Okay, attitude was the second thing that she talked about. If you are not excited 90% of the time for what you're doing, then again, you need to just check yourself and see what can you do to get you excited again, because you have to be excited about being there with your challengers and what you're doing. Attitude is a choice. You have to notice if your attitude is faltering, and we have the ability to change that. That's not a talent. That is something that you can choose, is to change your attitude, to try and flip it around and look at it a different way. So this little blurb on the side here, this little photo, is actually something from my PE life. I was an elementary PE teacher for 10 years. And what it did is it basically just broke the alphabet down into a number for each letter. You know, and you can see what it does. But basically, attitude is 100%, and it actually, attitude is so, so important. It's not going to be perfect all the time. Again, there's going to be interruptions. There's going to be ebbs and flows all the time, but you have to have that attitude at least 90% of the time, to where this is something you enjoy. This is something you are passionate about, helping other people and doing what's good for you and for them. Again, it goes back to, because this, when you focus on that, it will help you have that good attitude. Okay, number 3. Be a product of the product. Okay, press play, drink shake, read a book, have conversations. She said it so fast every single time, and it just flew out of her mouth. I had some more pictures on here, but for some reason they weren't showing up, so we're rolling with it. I press play as often as I can. Sundays are usually a rest day, but guys, vacation has been a little bit tricky. But I have completed Sean Week, and I could say I honestly did press play every single day. I didn't think that it was that important to maybe video it or put it out there on social media. And I ran into another mom at the pool the other night, and it's a lot. I see a lot of my kids' parents there, and so sometimes that's a little bit intimidating. By me, sometimes conversations are awkward. I never know. There's one lady, and she, every time I see her, her legs, I want her legs. They are nothing but toned, strong muscles. I can see her biceps. I mean, all she's doing up to this pick up her kids. But I mean, the lady just looks like she is in fantastic shape. And so I believe she is a Camp Gladiator instructor, maybe. And she said something to me the other day, and she said, she goes, every time I see you, I think about you, your little videos popping up on Instagram, and I see you work out every morning, and I'm like, oh, there she is. Oh, there she is again. She goes, and I don't know. She goes, you're there. Before I even wake up, before I can even think about working out, you're there. And whoop, there she is again. Oh, there she is again. And I don't see that. I don't see that. And I wouldn't have known that had she not said that. But I press play and it's making a difference. Her saying that to me helped me to know it does make a difference. So I'm telling you, there are people out there that see you and they want to see you. And so I want to say every day since that day, I've thought, this one's for Zoe. I got to make sure and be there for Zoe because she sees me every morning. And if I'm not there, she's going to know and she won't be able to say, oh, there she is doing it again. So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep pushing play. Drink your shakes. I mean, we're coaches. We get it with, our monthly home direct. So there's no reason to not drink it. Drink it, have it be good for your body. It's nothing but good for you. Read a book or listen to a book or whatever you need to do, because I definitely listen more than I read. But it will have a direct effect on your work ethic and your attitude. It is going to change everything. I do listen. I don't read very often because I fall asleep so frequently, but I listen in the shower. I listened in the car when I was driving to go see Ricky the other day. I listened on the way back. Just whenever you can, plug and play. Those stories from last month are awesome. You should be able to relate to at least one person that is talking and telling their story. And then have conversations. Have conversations with people on social media. Guys, have them in public. Don't be scared. If somebody's asking you questions, be proud of what you do. And honestly, I'm guilty of this. I love having my husband with me when I'm having those conversations because he probably sells it more than I do. Because he will jump in the conversation and he will take over and he will say how amazing this is and how good he feels, and he will beat me to the punch every single time. So don't be scared to do that, because I'm telling you, people want to know and they want to feel what you're feeling. So have those conversations. Okay, next slide. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be fast. Be coachable and keep your own bucket filled. So I had a picture of you on here, Laura. I'm sorry, I don't know where it went. My two girls, Laura and then Jackie Woodfin, is on there because she has been a big factor in this too. She is the one who told me, you are your first customer. When she came off the stage at my first Super Sunday, I wanted to talk to her immediately. She talked all about how normal people will stop at the end of the day. They will turn on the TV. They will throw their feet up and they will relax. Normal people will set this aside and let it go, and it will disappear. Normal people give up easily. She said, whatever you do, don't be normal. Be abnormal in everything that you do, and then that is when it happens. That's when everything happens for you. So from the moment that she said that, that's where I have my little hashtag abnormal mom fitness from. I heard it and I just made the decision. I said, okay, that's it right there. That kind of fits into the whole problem. I didn't want to be a normal stay-at-home mom sitting on my ass and not getting anything done. I wanted to be abnormal. I wanted something more. And so that is something that I have to remind myself all the time. Like, this is why you're doing it, because you don't just want to be another person. You are special, you are wonderful, and you can do this. So that's why she's there. Use the resources that you've been given. Laura has answered all of my questions anytime I've ever asked her. I have texted her, I've sent her voice texts, I've sent her emails. Anything that I've needed, she's been there and she's answered, even if it's a dumb question. She's doing my slideshow for me right now because the notebook that we brought on vacation is not working. But she is helping me to make this possible and make this work. So use your resources. Google Drive, there's so much in there. National Wake Up Call. Use what you can from what people share. There's no reason not to, because they're just there to help you. Keep your heart and your mind open and ask for help. So if you get stuck, guys, the whole team is here. If you want to ask me a question, shoot me a personal message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I usually clean out my inbox before bed every night. So definitely just reach out. That's why we're all on a team together. Okay, number 4. Thanks, Laura. Number 4 is show up, show up, show up. You have to show up if you want something to happen. So this picture on the left is me and my sweet little Emma. And guys, when we got here, she fell off the steps and took a head plant into the cement. So she has a giant scrape on her forehead. The top of her lip, if you look really close, you can see a scab between her little nose and her lip. She scraped it. She's a bloody screaming mess. She had a fever the next day, just didn't feel good. Everybody else was outside, and we were laying there, and I kept thinking, she wanted to show up. This little girl who had just fallen head first off the steps wanted nothing more than to get in there and do what everybody else was doing. She didn't want to let that stop her. And I thought, if I could only have that attitude that my toddler has all the time, what a wonderful world this would be. Because nothing can stop them at that point. Just they know what they want and they go out and get it. So just show up. So I put on there for your team, for your challengers, for yourself, for your family, for everyone. Just show up. Facebook for me has been huge. Even if I can do a power 30 minutes, then that's what I do. But I always show up on Facebook. As soon as you fall off of Facebook or whichever avenue you use, that's when people are like, oh, where'd they go? Oh, they're not posting anymore. Maybe they're not as serious as I thought they were. So that's something that I've always been huge on. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, because there are days that I haven't been able to do my power hour, or I've fallen asleep at the computer doing my power hour and I have to go to bed. But I've always got those Facebook posts up so people know that I am always there. And so I think that that's something that is absolutely huge. So many people have the ability and then choose not to. Choose to show up. I have a picture of me and Joel on there because that was one of the opportunities that we had on this past Super Sunday, was to pay a little bit extra for the ticket, and you could get a picture with Joel. Guys, it was literally like a millisecond. We said hi. It was like high five and see ya. But you know what? It was fun. It was exciting. I showed up. I was there, and it was a good experience. If you don't take the opportunity to take advantage of those experiences, then you're not going to have as much fun. It's only going to be what you make it. So show up and put it in your head. Have that good attitude that those experiences are going to make you better. They're going to push you. They're going to motivate you and get you pumped up. So that's there. And then the quote on the right, you guys have probably all seen that one. Surround yourself with people that push you. You're going to find that when you show up. You're going to find it here on Team VIP. You're going to find it on Facebook. You're going to find it in your challengers. So just keep showing up for all of them. Okay, last one, Laura. Okay, focus on you. Control the controllable. Guys, these are big ones right here. I put a picture just with me with my cup of coffee, because that's my chill spot right there. Just me and coffee. And sometimes that's all I can control. I cannot compare myself to other people. I've had to stop myself so many times. I'm so guilty, and it's so hard. I am not Laura. I am not Jessica. I am not Raquel. I'm not Rachel. I'm not anybody else. I'm just Elisa, and that's okay. And I have to do what I have to do. I need to do my foundational items. I need to do my power hour, but I need to do it my way, and I need to just focus on me. So as long as I'm plugging and chugging my way, I can get to those places where they are. They were where I was before. We all start somewhere. So don't worry about where they are now. That's where they are. Worry about where you are so that you can work yourself up to where they are. And tell yourself, I will get there. I can do that by being me, by doing what I do. Okay, next one. Okay, so some things that you might want to do. Ask yourself, what has Beachbody done for you and how has it changed your life for the better? So if you have not done that, do that and write it down. Write it down, find a picture, take a picture of yourself and write down the list next to it, however you want to do it. But you need to know what Beachbody has done for you because you are your first customer. How has it changed your life for the better? Because that's how it's going to change other people's lives for the better. And then what has coaching done for you and how has coaching changed your life for the better? And this is one that I'm personally working on. I need to put that out there more. What has coaching done for me? Because coaching honestly has done just as much, if not more for me than Beachbody has done for me. Because without coaching, I probably would have already fallen off the wagon by now and gained my 30 pounds back that I had last year. So guys, if you haven't done that, write those things down. And then last slide, and I will shut up. Have your visuals for your answers again. So I've put some different things on there. One of my whys is my kids, of course. Again, being abnormal. I don't want to be normal. I've got one of my transformation pictures on there from when I was pregnant with number 4, and then from just about a month ago, I guess. Because guys, I'm in better shape and I weigh less and I fit into smaller clothes than I did before I had number 1. So that is something that I take pride in and I don't want to ever go back because I feel wonderful. I've found a great balance to my life and I want to keep it. And then the reason my little Disney castle is over there is that's another one of my whys. It is not cheap to go to Disney. It is not easy to go to Disney with 4 children. And that has always been a dream of mine to get to go to Disney. And if I want to take all 4 of those babies with me anytime in the near future, then I'm going to have to keep working my butt off. So that is one of my whys. That's one of the reasons why I started. Is to set money aside to do that, to be able to take them there and to not have to scrimp and save while we're there, but to actually get to enjoy it. So that's why I started. That's why I'm continuing. And yeah, that's why I go back to I am my first customer. Okay. So I'm trying to think if there's anything that I didn't answer as far as things that I do, but I think I hit everything. If y'all have questions, please fire away.
Elisa, so good. I have a question for you. I know you're adamant on spending however much time you spend during nap time on your business. What do you do during those hours? What does it look like? Do you do a tracker? Is that a daily thing? Kind of go through what you do on a daily basis to keep your business up.
Okay, so I've been through a few of the different trackers and different things work for me. I love the Google Doc or her Google spreadsheet, but my brain doesn't function. I get a little bit overwhelmed filling in all of the boxes and not being able to see it all at once, and for me it's overwhelming. And I'm a pen and paper kind of girl. And I know that it adds up and it's, spirals and spirals. But what I do is I print out in Team VIP in the tracker folder, there's one called the weekly power hour. And so that one has the whole week and it has a bunch of check boxes on the whole page. And so I have that and I write my names down on the side. And so that helps, as I can get lost in scrolling through Facebook and trying to find names or this or that. And with that weekly tracker, I can do all my basics. And then when I have time, I can go scroll through and comment on more photos or whatever I need to do. So that's the basis of where I start. At the beginning of every month, or at the beginning of every new challenge group, I guess, what I do is there's two things that I do. I check with all my old challengers. So anyone who's already in my group, I try and message them and check in with them and say, I want to double check. Are you in for the next group? Let's keep you going. How are you feeling? And I make sure I have a list of who's following over into the next group. After that, what I do is I make a list of anyone, or I have an ongoing list. So I already have them on a list, and I'm going to follow up with them first thing for that next group. And those are going to be my first round of invites. After that, then I go through my alphabet for other invites. And then I just keep going. But I always have my list that I start with at the beginning of the month of anyone who said, well, check back with me in X amount of time. And I start there because I feel like those are the people they've already been baited and talked to, and I've already spent a lot of time with them. So those are going to be my first customers, and then I'll start building from there. I think I answered that.
Yeah, thank you. Does anyone have any more questions? Any questions for Elisa? Comments?
Great call, Elisa. You did so good. And I think that you are such a testament to getting it in, because, dear God, I can't even keep up with 2 kids, and you're like killing the game with 4. So it's just, everybody's busy, and you just have to figure out what works for your life and your level of busy, because everybody's in a different stage. But I think you're so right. You have to find what motivates you and what pushes you, and that's the only way that you're going to keep going. But you did so good. Awesome call.
Thank you.
Anything else, team? I know we're a small call tonight. I think everyone's on like vacation. Even Elisa, even though she's still here, rocking the call. Okay, guys, any last minute announcements? I know Shift Shop, we're doing a preview this week, tomorrow. So everyone, I hope to see, like Elisa. Elisa's my first Instagram person, like exactly what Zoe said. I log on, I'm like, Elisa, working out, doing her workout. And so I hope to see everyone on Instagram, Snapchat, or Facebook doing the workouts tomorrow. I'm excited. So get excited. Anything else? Any other announcements? Am I missing anything? Okay, guys.
Are they loading that at midnight?
Yes, so it'll be on Beachbody On Demand, and Coach Sneak Peek starts on Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can definitely run it with your own, run your own. Just if you're doing one, just FYI, it's this week.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Have a great rest of your Father's Day. We'll see you on social.